going to red flag the event. They're going to stop the field, restart the race, and try and settle it.
Gabby DiCarlo and Brian Scott had problems right in front of them. We see the car turned around. That's a 7 of Kyle Krisaloff. He was running second before he got spun around. Oh, and problems continuing on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's Brian Silas right there. Some hard contact.
Okay, will you tell me again if my glass is half full or half empty?
I think I'm going to go with half empty on that, Ken.
Yeah.
Justin Allgaier spun out right down here, right just before the start-finish line in the 16 car. Is that Mario Gosselin's car right there, the onboard camera? There's Scott Speed. Look at all the damage to that Red Bull Toyota.
Started second in this race, and he will end
16 cars laid around there, just a little bit,
right.
Ed.
That had to check up and slow down and avoid what took place right in the front of this field.
And then they all try to take some evasive action. The 75 of Brian Scott turns around. He collects, looked like the 4-car Taylor Malsom. There's the 39, the 09, the 44 Frank Kimmel sliding through the infield.
There's the 7. We see him checked up way back there, and we believe he had a lot to do with what took place behind him.
Of Scott Speed, there's another view. Watch, he's going to come back down and try to get in that hole that's not there. Then you see Matt Carter runs in the back of the 65 of Justin Marks. Bobby Gerhardt does a great job. Michael Annette does a great job avoiding this, and everybody else, it seems like, is involved. Frank Kimmel, that white car spinning down through the middle of the racetrack. He spins in between 2 or 3 cars. Here comes Ricky Stenhouse right at his front end. Frank's going to slide out of the way of him. Just havoc all over the racetrack.
Seems like we always talk about the big one when we talk about restrictor plate racing, and this one started at the front and at the middle almost simultaneously.
Yeah, exactly, in the middle. And look at this big parade we've got going around the high line. Somebody's sideways, and there's one of those big wrecks you talked about. With that, This is a very big wreck.
The track is completely blocked.
They have locked up and closed up and completely blocked the entire track over on the backside. This is going to require some fairly vigorous attention by the ARCA officials. We're starting to see some cars moving out of the smoke, but quite a few cars are not moving at all. There's the 23 of Brandon Kelly trying to pick out some numbers. The 45 of Michael Phelps out of Sewanee, Georgia. A few damaged cars are starting to move, but it's really just a tangled up mess right now. And Don Radebaugh has hot-footed it over there to the scene of the crime. Don?
Yep, big mess on the backstretch. It started with when the 1 car of Tom Hesser Jr. and the 14 car got together, turned the 14 car around sideways on the track and caused this big mess. 7 cars initially involved as some of the drivers begin to climb out.
Well, Mike, if the worst nightmare was the hood up on the car before the start, this is an even worse nightmare. Boy, notably the number 93, Justin Loftman, he just had nowhere to go when those first 2 cars got turned around, and it is a melee out there.
Yikes, what a mess.
Here's the 41 car. You can see the driver of that one, and he's pretty upset, throwing the gloves back inside. Josh Clemens is out of the race, apparently.